I decided to go to the spring of the Thames.
Finally, it's the second series of Thames Path.
We're going to do it with walk camping. We're going to walk all 200 miles.
So if you want to follow me up the river, click that subscribe button, hit that like button, share with your friends. We need your help to get to 1,000 subscribers to get monetized.
Morning. It's about 7 o'clock. I didn't rush. I think we're fairly out of the way here, but actually a dawn chorus woke me up about sort of 4:35, and I'd just been lying in bed, sort of resting my leg. I was going to maybe get up at 7:30 or 8, but that's probably pushing it further where I am, because I don't know if people are going to turn up.
It's surprisingly warm here, even though it's by the river, maybe because all the trees around. I noticed when I came down to the tent, I was like, oh, it's warm down here. It is actually quite cold by the bench, but here it's lovely and warm.
I'm hearing the people going by the gate, so there's been about about 3 or 4 people through. No one, as far as I know, has come down here, so that's one hell of a view. That's the bridge, I think. Yep, that's the bridge. But people can't really see us here. There's the tent. I'm going to get some breakfast. Yeah, it's a good breakfast spot. Even a sign, which I think accidentally shown on the live stream last night, is like, yeah, let's tell everyone where I am. Probably porridge. I've got enough water. I also know I can get water at Days Lock, so that's all good. Just as I was leaving the campsite, kayak turned up, kind of scarfed, because I didn't realise people were kayaking up the River Thames. Yes.
Taking the tent down in a hurry because there was a nosy old bugger. But for some reason he walked down here, finished my breakfast and headed as quickly down here, going, what are you doing? And he was not happy. Yeah, so I was like, oh, you're fine. I was like, he obviously was not. But it's like, this is a spot for fishing. Taking everything down as quickly as possible. Don't get aggro. Yeah, leave no trace. I'm getting out of here. Initially I thought, oh, is he a fisher person? I was about to say, oh, I'm sorry, I'll move the tent. And it turns out that he's just a random nosy codger who wanders around with a 6-foot wooden staff. Busted my campsite. It was time I had to go anyway. Shades on, sun cream on. Don't get used to it. Tomorrow's going to be dreadful. So yeah, we're walking to Days Lock. Hopefully not too far because I've got like this much water. Dodgy Abbey that way. We heard the bells. The bells! And then we got the Devil's Dykes. We'll be passing them on the right, but we probably won't see them. And my legs are okay so far. That was a reason for not rushing out. And they're going, making lots of noise. Munchy sheep. Having a nice munchie? Hi. There's a friendly sheep. Here we are, the little Wittenham bridge. And remember, this was deep underwater. If you remember, a reminder, we go over the Days Lock unless they've closed it. They were working on it when I was here last. Yeah, wow, that was all underwater. You just could see the top of the metal bar. That way, up there, is where the Devil's Dykes, and that's the Wittenham Clumps, or one of them. I'm not in the mood to go all the way up there. I didn't realise the Wittenham Clumps was so close to where I was. Even Days Lock is like 10 minutes walk. Getting water might be fun because that was open in March, it's not open now. Nice lockkeeper let me get some water. Although it's you have to kind of jump over the gate. But yeah, we got some water, excellent. That's a beautiful scene. There's the little London Bridge and the Wittenham Clumps. Cool. Very different. Very different. But we've got the fun of Clifton meadows coming out, the bit where I almost drowned. I expect that little channel's still there, but I'm hoping this time I'll be able to go around. I have a feeling that might be a bit of a always boggy bit, but we have our solution for that. When Moley did his across the country sort of tide to tide, he was walking over the fields that were that way, like I filmed, because completely sodden and lake-like, so he was walking on the path that way on the other side, around there, and some of the same path I did, the secret garden, and finding it was too boggy to go through, which is kind of a relief, because if he'd gone through that and it was like, oh, it's fine, I would have been like, oh, I would have felt bad. But he did the same thing as me, and so it's amazing how dried out these fields are. You know, this is what it should have been. On that live last night, I was just like, why did I do this in March? It's such a silly thing to do. There's a lot to be said for doing Thames Path in July or August. Yeah, it's an amazing reeds. You wouldn't recognise it, except I remember it far too well. That completely deluged channel that was 4, 5, nearly 6 foot deep. I can't actually see the little plank I used to be floating around somewhere. It's a bit hidden, you can see this so much. Actually it is a channel and there's water in it. Yeah, I was standing over here going, can't go any further. But now all of that's dried. There's this cowslip which a lot of farmers used to completely take out their fields. There are all kinds of moths and insects that rely on it. So usually it's advised to leave them and make sure the cows don't eat it. But generally they don't. Thomas's meadow. So yes, we're now into new stuff, but I didn't do last time. Yeah, I saw several channels after the one I nearly drowned. If I'd got past that one, I would have struggled. The wetland channels would have flooded out, like the whole of the Tame area did. I wouldn't have got much further, I don't think. Creating a wetland through the building big channels, that's going to encourage flooding. So they really need to raise the Thames Path or put decking down to make sure it doesn't get flooded out. Not seen a soul on this section. It's even more lonely than the Cholsey to Wallingford section, with absolutely no one apart from geese. Wow, that's one hell of a secret little fishing camping site. Your own little entrance coming up to, I think, Clifton Hampden Bridge, and there are lots of these little sites, supposed to be angling sites, but they make perfect camping sites as well. Toying whether to stop at the Barley Mow for a drink if it's open. Shipwreck! Yep. I took a full video and a picture. It was completely underwater. Yeah, that's fine. And here is the eternally busy Clifton Hampden Bridge. Very different. That was all underwater. Well underwater. And I said I'd be back. Here I am. I'm back. Just having a nice ginger beer at the Barley Mow. Yeah, I spoke to a woman behind the bar, and she said that it was almost up to their door, which I don't remember it being that high, but I remember it being fairly high when I was here. She also confirmed it was the worst anyone had experienced. Confirms it was a bad year. It wasn't just that, oh, you shouldn't do it in March full stop, although I think probably it's not great in March either. 10 plus years ago I'd done bits of it in March, so I knew it could be bad. I didn't know it could be that bad, and that's the difference. So where that pillar is where just one large pool, and you just have this sort of little pillar in the middle, and all down here nettles. Yeah, great. I'll take nettles and brambles over floods any day. I can navigate nettles to actually get to see Cullum Bridge properly. It's Cullum Lock that I keep saying Clifton Lock. It's Cullum Lock Bridge which is out. There's a bit of a little diversion there. 3 miles. Wondering whether I'll make Abingdon today, I don't know. Little spots of rain, or not so little spots of rain. I don't know what the weather's doing. Maybe the rain from Thursday is happening early. Very picturesque. Clifton Lock. These things. It started raining. It's okay at the moment, but I looked at the forecast and it says it's going to rain this evening. Stopping about where I would usually stop, but something I learned from Windsor and Eton is that if it's a downpour, just hold up somewhere. Absolutely no point in getting drenched for a couple of hours walking. I think that's going to be the general mode of today. Random showers and then, sunshine, random shower, sunshine. Some impressive dragonflies, and I don't know if you can see that. Corn everywhere. What would it be? I don't know. That's a limbo job. Assume that's the Cullum line. Yeah, Cullum has a station. Though it's that line to Oxford, or did got part way, that got completely shut off. When I tried to use this, it was flooded out. Wow, that's some heavy duty railway bridge. I don't think that was the bridge that Marley was trying to camp under. That's a bit further on near Hampden. Certainly you could come under this one. I'd swing, yeah. I'm not sure I'd trust that at all. First time I've seen some serious bog. This is not terrible. Thinking about how it is that this feels heavier than Scotland. I can't work it out, apart from a bit of heat, but I think it was 20 degrees in Scotland. I'm carrying a bit more water in Scotland because there's so many streams. Here I'm carrying a bit more. Doesn't know where the water's coming from. Unless I filter that, which I'm still not totally happy about, but I don't trust pure filtration on River Thames water until I would say above Oxford. Even then, I'm just really knackered. Yeah, actually I could sit down there. There's no other opportunity until maybe Cullum Lock. I need to get this pack off for a while. It's killing me. Beautiful. I'm going to fly away. My gamble paid off. Benches. Do-do. Do-do, do-do, do-do. The village, the track. I like it got miniaturised by like the Master's Ray. Middle Ages, yeah, usually plague. Things disappeared. Ah, maybe this is the diversion I was hearing about. Abingdon 1 mile is that way. Is that another dead bridge? Ah, that's the bridge I heard about. Another one. Another dead bridge. Yeah, I'm not planning to go across. I've learnt my lesson anyway. It looks like there's no way on the outside. Placement bridge is interesting, yeah?
Still standing after all these years.
I know, 1416. Site of a Civil War skirmish. Bridge skirmish. Yeah, it's a small diversion. Interesting one as well. The question is which way now? I'm guessing this way. It could be that way. More bugginess. I have a feeling it'll be this way. So that's along the river. This is Abingdon. Abingdon Bridge. You see Marley's video. He was considering sleeping underneath it in the cover part when it was raining. Historic Abingdon. I'm not sure I've ever been to Abingdon. I've been to RAF Abingdon as a training cadet. White Horse of Puffington. Well, not actual. I've flown over that. My water. Pack weighs a ton. I did my shopping in Abingdon, but they don't make travel size real talc anymore because of all these lawsuits about talc and small children and babies. It's all cornstarch, and cornstarch, as soon as it gets wet, it becomes yeasty. Stupid. Ordinarily these fields would be interesting, but having experienced Abingdon, I'd much rather be way away from here before camping anywhere. It's not the kind of place you want to risk camping. This is Abingdon Lock. We are impressed. Wooden bridge that hasn't been condemned. Give it a week. I mean, there's a few interesting woods around the weir, but there's lots of people, and yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be quieter towards Radley. Okay, it goes down this way. Through the mud. This looks quite muddy actually. I really don't want to spend a lot of time finding the site. There's a few places you probably could play hide in the wood a bit, but there's enough kind of like kids and stuff. We're very busy. I want to get out of all this. Boardwalk through a sea of nettles. I'm hoping as I head towards, I think it's Sandford Lock and Lower Radley, that it becomes less like this. I'm not totally sure about this. I'm hoping it's not stuff like that and nettles for the next 5 to 10 miles. Nowhere near March level, but yeah, nice. It's getting much more boggier in here. I'm hoping it opens out to somewhere either drier or by the river. They're not by the river at the moment, in these sort of woods. I should have scoped this out really. This is one hell of a spooky wood. It started raining. Signs of some people coming through here, but exceedingly campbell. I saw a deer downed away. This would be ideal for Moley because so much of this wood is just dead. So anybody coming through is going to make a lot of noise unless they're deer. I don't know who left their stuff here. Yeah, there's some things like that. Which suggests some people have been through here. Camped here, there's the odd fire. I think I might go with this because it's a bit early, but I'm just. Oh, what the hell's that? Hope there's bits of trees and not leeches. I'm just reached my limit. Reached my limit of what I can do. I'm just like, ow, I need to rest. I need to rest and then maybe think about dinner and then just go to bed early. It's near Nightfield, and you can hear the trains because the railway bridge that in Molly's video on the other side he unsuccessfully camped under. He wanted to camp under the railway bridge before Abingdon. It turns out on the other side, almost opposite that, there is lots of places to go. Amazing wood, with lots of dead wood to use. That is so ironic. Ooh, I was worried that it wouldn't be places because of Molly's experience with the south side of the river. Turns out the north side, there is lots, not for a while, not for like a mile or two, it's not so great. But as soon as you get to this sort of area, there seems there's paths running through it, and it seems to be a good place to camp where you likely won't be disturbed. But luckily no spoons. The first site I considered too close to other people, but also it had just a spoon on its own. It was like, okay, that's dodgy. And broken glass as well. This luckily around here seems to be the more plastic in cans, which is good. Tent up by 7:30. I think this is probably the earliest I've ever done a stealth camp. Usually, I haven't put up a tent till about 9:30 when it's nearly dark. It's a bit of a risk, but I don't think I'll be disturbed. It's so quiet here. And also, I got to the point where I was just done. After going around Abingdon, and that's hard on your feet anyway because of the hard surfaces, and I had a rest, and then with all the water and all the screaming kids at the weir, and then just having to keep going and going. After about 6 o'clock, I was just like, I can't do this. My weight of my pack is similar, I think, maybe slightly heavier, but there's less things than what I took to Scotland. There's a few other things that might be slightly heavier, but there's lots of stuff I've not brought, so I don't think it is heavier. It's about similar, or maybe even less, but it just feels really heavy. Or it might be that something else, because on that Scottish trip I damaged this shoulder quite badly, and it's never recovered. Whatever's causing this is also meaning I can't, do as heavier, lifting as I used to do. But shoulders are really bruised and painful. The straps were really biting into my shoulder, so both sides are ow. There's one nice thing here. You can probably spot I lost one of the guys. Got out of the last camp very quickly. One must have unravelled itself. So I'll have to replace that. I don't think it'll be a massive problem. I'm not expecting really stormy weather, so I keep hearing deer. I mean, you can probably see over there that bark that's been ripped off. No wonder I'm knackered. Apparently the low was 13 and the high is 30. 27 in here. Cooler outside the rucksack, but yeah, wow. It's just after 10 o'clock. I actually just went straight to bed. I didn't even do my hot chocolate. I should have done my hot chocolate, but I was just like, not even hot chocolate. I'm just going to leave it alone. I said about that deer. There's a very noisy muntjac who's just been going all night, on and off. It doesn't matter if you make noise or whatever, it just won't shut up. But otherwise, it's a good spot. Probably hear the wind in the background. We've had some rain on the tin as well, but it's dry in here. So I'm just going to make some hot chocolates and some pasta. I got some Parmigiano because I forgot this. So that's what I got in there. Not so posh Abingdon. Oh, I'm tired. I'm also just going to bed early. I'm waking up a bit discombobulated. That was the end of day 2 of series 2 of the Thames Path. We travelled 10.8 miles and a total of 23.4 miles. We started at the confluence of the Tame and the Thames and went all the way to Nyack Forest near Abingdon. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please click like and click that subscribe button. We're trying to get monetized and get over 1,000 subscribers, and both help the channel to support videos like this one. On screen now will be the next video in this series when it's available, otherwise it will be the previous day. I hope you're all well, and I'll speak to you soon.